I'm joined now by Dr. Matt Heinz, a hospital physician at Tucson Medical Center in Arizona, and who's also served in the Obama administration. Dr. Heinz, let's talk about that airborne thing, because this is something that a lot of people have feared for a long time, that this thing is airborne. Explain, please, and what does that mean for the level of risk to the average person that, let's say, is at a beach party?
Absolutely. And so as you were saying, respiratory droplets are a little bit larger. Those are things that come out when we're coughing, talking, singing, shouting. And those things, they actually settle out and kind of settle down to the ground pretty quickly in a matter of seconds within about a 6-foot radius of the person. The smaller aerosol particles are like micro droplets is another way to refer to them. They can actually stay aloft, sort of floating and hovering in the air around a person who has coronavirus for hours. At least 3+ hours have been demonstrated in at least one study that I've reviewed. So the concern is you could have some of those micro droplets or aerosol-sized particles floating around in the air around, say, a patient who is in the hospital, in a hallway, or someone who sneezes in the aisle of a supermarket, even with a mask, and someone else could come by and breathe those in and potentially get infected.
Okay, that's terrifying. Most of us are now, I'm here in a studio. There are only 2 other people in the room. We're all social distancing. We're not anywhere near each other. I came in a mask. I'm going to leave, put my mask on when I leave. That's the things that we're doing that we think are keeping us safe. What you just said makes me worry that these measures are not working. We just saw the mayor of Atlanta, who's been taking every precaution, announce, and she's talked about it on this show, that she has coronavirus, that her husband does too. Is what we're doing just not enough?
It may not be. And I want to be clear, we don't know for sure. It seems likely that some of these micro droplets or aerosol particles are probably infectious. They have done studies where the viral RNA has been detected, but they haven't really proven infectivity. But I myself have seen in the hospital multiple cases that can't be explained by respiratory droplet exposure, where like an old married couple in their home that have been isolating for 2.5 months both get it. They haven't been out. So there's definitely some unexplained cases that we see anecdotally that would be better explained by the potential, at least some kind of a limited airborne spread.
Okay. So
in terms of what to do, N95 masks. So a lot in hospitals, of course, we have to wear the simple surgical masks like this. Now, maybe it needs to be the N95 for everyone in the hospital. But that remains to be seen.
Donald Trump has decided that his new message is we just have to live with it. If President Obama had said we just have to live with Ebola and live with the fact that it may spread across the country and kill hundreds of thousands of people, Republicans would have gone crazy. But we've now seen that in addition to that, they've pulled back on letting Dr. Fauci talk to the country. We can't hear from the one expert nationally that people know, they know the name of. If this administration were behaving in a rational way at this point, with all the failures at the state level, the failures at the federal level, if they were going to be rational and try to save lives at this stage, what could they do given all this new information?
Well, they could certainly set a good example and direct the governors to do the same, meaning President Trump should pretty much never appear without a mask. Vice President Pence, the same thing. Our political leadership reinforce it. People don't love wearing masks. I don't love wearing a mask, but I know it keeps me safe in the hospital, and I do it for 10, 12 hours at a time. But showing an example, leading by example, and reinforcing the expert advice and opinions of people like Dr. Fauci constantly, just like President Obama did during Ebola, during the H1N1 2009 pandemic, all of those things. We didn't see President Obama out there talking or tweeting strange things. He just said, Dr. Fauci's got this. Listen to that man and do what he says. I agree.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Frankly, in Arizona and in a lot of other states, we don't have enough testing. We don't know where this thing is. We don't know where the virus is. So we can't really do this. We can't win this war if we don't know where the enemy is.
Well, we know that Mike Pence has now postponed a trip that could to go there. We've seen Secret Service agents becoming infected with it. It really is quite terrifying, honestly. I don't even know where to end there. But my last question, I guess, to you then, are people wrong to think that they are safer if they are at a beach, on a beach, in a park, and they are outside? Are people any safer outdoors, in your view?
They are. It is much better to be outside. I am not endorsing that, like for a while we saw in New York, people were kind of starting to congregate 3 or 4 weekends ago at outside of bars without masks, way too close together. That behavior is not acceptable. But if you are outside hiking, outside at a beach, you are with your family unit only, not with other neighbors and friends, then that is something that could be safer outside. Golfing alone or with one golf partner, staying at a safe, that's okay.
Ooh, this is sobering, but as we like to say, scaring is caring. Dr. Matt Heinz, thank you very much. Please stay safe. Really appreciate your wisdom tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and still ahead, the latest polls show Joe Biden as the favorite to win in November. So how is Donald Trump responding to those polls? Oh, it's not pretty. That's next. Stay with us.